Well, now I believe I've heard it all. This, again, is about a poor little rich kid. No, we're not talking about Lindsay Lohan this time. Now we're just talking about an average, well, I wouldn't say average, but just somebody you would have never heard of if this hadn't happened. His name is Ethan Couch. I think he's 16 years old. He and some of his friends shoplifted now. Shoplifted, you may as well say stole. Stole some beer from Walmart. And then he got behind the wheel of a car, drove, crashed into two vehicles, killing 4 people. He killed these 4 people through drunk driving after stealing beer. And the judge sentenced him to 10 years. Probation, that is. 10 years probation. He got no jail time. None. And this was the death of 4 people. The reason being, the judge is saying that poor little Ethan is a victim himself. That Ethan is a victim of affluenza. Affluenza, the way they describe it, according to a psychologist, is the product of wealthy, privileged parents who never set limits for him. So, because his parents were extremely wealthy, they never set limits for Ethan, and he could do whatever he wanted. And so that's why he stole the beer, and that's why he killed these 4 people. And the judge says the parents are to blame. So Ethan is not being held accountable. So wait a minute, let's see. Ethan's parents never set boundaries for him, so the judge is going to do the same. And then says the parents' fault. Had this been a poor child, or just an average child, they would have been up shit creek without a paddle. Had this been a teenage child of an alcoholic home where they saw this kind of behavior, that child would be up shit creek without a paddle. But because his parents have money, he doesn't have to go to jail. You know, money truly does talk. Somebody got paid off very, very good. They feel like he got off too easy. He needs some kind of justice. This is what the judge says, though. That he's going to be on probation for 10 years. And if he messes up, he could go to jail for 10 years. Just like they tell Lindsay Lohan, if we see you back here one more time, after the 30th time that they've seen her. And then they say they always see her again, and they always tell her the same thing. This must be Lindsay's cousin. It says lawyers for the boy had argued that the teen's parents should share part of the blame for the crash because they never set limits for the boy and they gave him everything he wanted. Well, they didn't give him that beer that night because he shoplifted that. The psychologist also reported that the teen's family felt wealth bought privilege. And I can't, didn't it? It bought the judge. And they think Couch's life could be turned around with 1 or 2 years of treatment with no contact with his family. So that's one of the things, that's one of the agreements of his probation, that he has no contact with his parents. So, even though he's 16. So the court system is setting him up with a place that they're going to give him the help that he needs. Now, do you think that this boy of privilege, who's used to having everything he's ever wanted, is going to be happy going someplace where they're going to set boundaries for him? Put him in jail. I'm going to guarantee you that if he gets out and does this, not get out because he's not going anywhere, but if he does this again, they're going to say, well, why didn't we lock him up the first time? This is ridiculous. This shows that okay, even though he was a product of wealthy parents, if they had whooped his ass one time, they'd have gone to jail. But they give him anything they want, and it's their fault that he kills somebody in a crash. It's their fault he steals beer and kills somebody. You know, killing somebody from drunk driving is murder, and murder is murder. He killed 4 people. This is ridiculous. And look at all the families of these people. They're not. Some people in these comment boxes are saying, well, lock the parents up. Come now, please. I don't understand. This judge was bought off. I don't know what that is, but I'm about to go see. Anyway, what do you think about this story? Until next time, bye-bye.